Welcome to Thursday's station activities, 429. So the first thing you're going to do is click the stations. We'll be talking about asexual versus sexual reproduction in this video, and then in another video we will be doing energy flow, and lastly physical and chemical changes. As always, you're going to click here for your practice assignment, and it's going to ask you if you'd like to make a copy. And this is what your assignment should look like, okay? So this activity will assess your knowledge of comparing the results of uniform or diverse offspring from asexual or sexual reproduction. When you have asexual reproduction, you have a less diverse offspring because the genetic material is the same because it is being made from one set of genes. Whereas with sexual reproduction, it is the combination of two different sets of genetic material from a male and a female, and that creates new genetic combinations, creating a more diverse offspring. So we're going to place the cards on the correct locations, whether they're sexual or asexual reproduction, and then you will find the sum of the numbers in each category, put the twos together for a 4-digit code. So this one says California blackworms, also known as mudworms, are able to break apart. Then each body section that breaks apart is able to become an identical new worm. So your key word here is identical. When it says identical, it's saying that the genetic makeup is the same. And since there were not two different sets of cells with genetic material coming together, it was one set of genetic material being split. This is an example of asexual reproduction. Okay? For number 7, your keywords here are going to be male-female. Male-female cobras mate. The female lays nearly 40 eggs, and the eggs hatch approximately 60 to 80 days later. The male is giving genetic material, and the female is giving genetic material to create a diverse set of offspring. So this is sexual reproduction. Your genetic material is coming from more than one place. Bacteria such as E. coli are able to reproduce every 20 minutes through binary fission. Binary fission is where a cell splits in half. Essentially, it's splitting. And so since there is not genetic material from two different sources combining, it's one set of genetic material that's being replicated through fission. This is going to be asexual reproduction. The fact that you have one organism, such as this E. coli bacteria, reproducing alone says that this is asexual, okay? This one says, female salmon lay a few thousand eggs in a hole in gravel of riverbeds. The eggs require male salmon to fertilize them in order for reproduction to occur. So you're having genetic material coming from two different sets of organisms, a female and a male. So this would be sexual reproduction. For your activity sheet, you would write the organisms' names like E. coli or salmon as examples. And to get your code, you're going to add these numbers together for asexual, and you'll add all of the numbers for sexual reproduction together. Okay? So an example of sexual reproduction were they called blackworms, mudworms, blackworms, and E. coli were examples. Blackworms and E. coli. And then for sexual reproduction, we had salmon and cobras. Male-female cobras and male-female salmon. Okay? And just as a study thing to help you, you could even put the male-female in there to understand that the genetic material is coming from two different types of that species. Again, you will identify two advantages and disadvantages of sexual and asexual reproduction in your extension. And then in your reflection, you'll describe offspring of organisms that reproduce asexually compared to organisms that reproduce sexually. It's really important to think about how having diverse genes and being able to adapt benefits an ecosystem and a species to help it survive over time.